Check-in with J&J House Call. My name is Dr. John Lucio. I practice integrative medicine and pain management in Jefferson City, Missouri. And this is my wife.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jennifer Sue. I practice conventional gynecology and integrative medicine. We hope your week has got off to a great start. Today we're going to be talking about the anti-inflammatory diet and give you 8 tips to help you eat the anti-inflammatory diet every day.
Now, the anti-inflammatory diet's been around for a while.
That's funny. Do you know why I'm laughing?
No, why?
It sounds like Dr. Weil.
Got it.
Dr. Weil was one of our professors at the University of Arizona.
He's actually the founder of the program.
Yeah, he's the founder. It's now called the Andrew Weil Center for Integrative Medicine. Oh, there's a giveaway today. In order to qualify for the giveaway, you have to find something in this video that relates to the anti-inflammatory diet. It's exactly what you're seeing on the screen throughout this whole video. You have to, number 1, subscribe to J&J House Call. So make sure you subscribe. You have to, number 2, hit the notification bell so you know when we've uploaded our next video. And then give this video a thumbs up. And then it's gonna be first come, first win. So whoever guesses what's in this video that's related to the anti-inflammatory diet wins a prize.
The reason inflammation is so important, it's become increasingly clear that it's responsible for a lot of the serious diseases that we have, such as heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and Alzheimer's disease. Now, it's inflammation is a normal process that we have in our bodies, especially when we respond to injury, but if it continues when it's really not needed, it becomes actually harmful to us and leads to all these bad things, and which really not very helpful for our body. The diet actually is very helpful in terms of suppressing the inflammation in our body, and diets are extremely important. As we mentioned in our other videos, we talk a lot about it in almost all of our chronic illnesses and some of our approaches to pain management and even general health and women's health that Dr. Sue has mentioned. Basically, the diet consists of eating more variety of foods, more healthy foods that are free of pesticides, more organically grown. And
can I say something about the organic?
Sure.
Organically grown foods, when I first heard about them, I just thought that they're organic because they're not sprayed with pesticide. But what we learned in our program was that organic foods had to learn to be stronger to fight off insects and pests. So they developed chemicals in their chemical structure of these vegetables that were strong, and then it fought off these pests, and they also fought off other weeds and other plants. So when we ingest them, we become stronger as well to fight off things. Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm. So basically in our diet, we should be consuming about 50% carbohydrates, about 30% fat, and about 20 to 30% protein. When we're looking at protein, we should cut back on animal protein, with the exception of fish. They should be mostly beans, soybeans in particular.
Well, carbs are still good. There's nothing wrong with carbs if you eat the right kind of carbs. The carbs that you want to eat more of are less refined, less simple sugar carbs. That means for breads that you eat the breads that have the grains and the nuts that you can actually see in them and that makes you have to chew them. Those are the kind of breads you want to have. When you have pasta, cook them al dente and then eat them in moderation, so not so much. And then the third thing is you can load up on like winter squashes, beans, sweet potatoes, and for the whole grains you can go for that brown rice and the bulgur wheat. And also try to avoid high fructose corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup is found in a lot of sports drinks, a lot of candy that I used to like to eat, a lot of, just look at the label. If it says high fructose corn syrup, it's in a lot of sports drinks, fruit drinks. Our bodies cannot break down high fructose corn syrup. So on a side note, if you are a young person or an older person and your doctor says, you know, you've got a really fatty liver, tell them if you've been drinking a lot of sodas, a lot of sports drinks, a lot of high fructose corn syrup, because what our bodies do is because we cannot break those things down, it gets stored in our liver, and so it causes an elevation in liver enzymes with fatty liver. So it would be helpful for your doctor to know that you consume a lot of that. So try to avoid high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, high fructose corn syrup is one of the #1 causes of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and I think that as time goes on, it's going to be more and more attention is going to be paid to it.
And what's so horrible is high fructose corn syrup is subsidized by the government. And so just be careful with reading your labels to know what you're eating.
When you're eating fats, make sure to avoid the trans fats and the saturated fats. Now there's new evidence coming out about saturated fat may not be as bad as people thought, and we're going to give an update on that later. But try to avoid those two fats for now. Make sure you eat extra virgin oil, a lot of that, and
Olive oil.
Keep it away from the oven because
Yes.
the heat can actually denature it.
And
keep it
oh, go ahead.
in a darker place.
Oh, you're really excited about olive oil.
You're probably hungry, aren't you?
I am hungry.
So avocado is another good source.
Olive oil you should smell, because like us, we like to go to Sam's Club or Costco and you get these huge big bottles of olive oil. And all of us, when we cook, we put it by the stove like he said. He's saying to put it away from the stove because the heat denatures your olive oil. So don't use it right by the stove because all that heat will denature it. And if it's been sitting around for a couple months, smell it. Take off the lid, smell it. If it smells not good, it's probably not good, which doesn't have the good components of the fats.
Other good sources of fats include flaxseed, hemp seed, fish oil supplements, and walnuts.
And make sure fish oil has both EPA and DHA. With fiber, you can get that with berries, vegetables, whole grains, beans, and what else?
Cereal.
Yeah.
Certain breakfast cereals have a high amount of fiber in it, so you just have to shop around. The next tip is to eat a lot of foods that contain phytonutrients, and these are seen in a lot of the different colors of different vegetables and fruits, such as berries, dark leafy vegetables, some of the yellow vegetables as well. And make sure that you buy things that are organic, as we talked about before. Those are probably the best ways to go, but just try to think of different colors with every meal. The next tip, if you are concerned about vitamins and minerals, like taking extra supplements, if you eat a healthy diet, you really shouldn't have to take any healthy extra vitamins or supplements to begin with.
For other dietary supplements, if you're not eating oily fish at least two times a week, get fish oil, and you want to do 2 to 3 grams of that every day, and make sure you get the EPA one with EPA and DHA, and it'll be on the ingredient list. And the other things that you might want to consider are turmeric, and which the active ingredient is curcumin, and also ginger, and talk to your doctor about possibly going on a low-dose aspirin every day. And CoQ10.
If you're taking CoQ10, make sure you take it with your largest meal. The last dietary tip is just to drink water. Try to avoid high sugary drinks. I know they taste great, but they're really not good for you. If you live in an area where the water quality is questionable, then you really should invest in some type of filter or drink bottled water. Actually, I forgot one thing. What is the difference between Mediterranean diet and some other anti-inflammatory diets? Well, there is a common thread in all those different types of diets. Mediterranean diet actually is an anti-inflammatory diet, but there are other forms of anti-inflammatory diets that are in the Polish cuisine. They're in Okinawan diets as well. But we recommend a lot of the Mediterranean diet because some of the ingredients are easily found in the United States and most grocery stores.
So remember to enter into this giveaway. You have to find something in this video that is related to the anti-inflammatory diet. It can be anywhere in this room. And you have to comment below why that object or somebody is related to the anti-inflammatory diet and why. Subscribe, and the final thing is to hit the notification bell so you're notified when we upload our next video.
Thanks for joining us.